Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another episode of the Real Connection podcast. I am Sean Santoro with TMG The Mortgage Group. I am joined today by my co-host, Dave McCall. Dave, say hello.
Hello, Sean. How's things today?
Oh, just rocking and rolling, buddy. My wife gives me shit for using that phrase all the time. She's like, where are you even rocking and rolling to, in fact? Places. And that's what I say. I'm like, honestly, it don't matter, does it? Nope. But anyways, we are very lucky today. We are joined by Natalie Bourgoin. She is a DIYer. She is a real estate designer. She is flipping properties. She has done Airbnbs. She's got too many hats to wear when it comes to real estate. So I'm just going to call her real estate extraordinaire. So thank you very much, Natalie, for joining us today. For people that don't know you, say hello, give us a little glimpse into who you are and how you've built what you built.
Well, thank you so much, Sean and David. I'm happy to be talking about this. As you guys know, it's a passion of mine. So I'm so happy to be here. How I got started, I fell upon it slowly, and then I think it was it hit me like a ton of bricks, like the love and the passion of the creation process and designing, and the whole, when you kind of finish a project and you step back and you're like, I built that, I did this. Mind you, at the beginning, my initial projects were kind of a little less to the standards I hold now, but we all start from somewhere.
Exactly. That's I think there's very little expectation, and we have Mike. It's happening, Mike.
Not too much. Sorry, am I sideways or maybe? You're
sideways. Now you're flat.
Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm good. Sorry about that, guys. We're just in the middle of a move here, so.
That's okay.
Mike, we're not starting until 12 o'clock.
Okay, so I will come back.
This is gonna stay. I'm not editing this out. I want this to stay. That's hilarious.
Let me jump off of here and then I'll come back on.
Okay, sounds good, Mike.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mike.
So your viewers didn't know you were going to have a surprise.
I guess not.
We always got surprises kicking up. Look at that.
Yeah,
two for the price of one.
But that's Mike from Load Pro. So
okay, perfect, sweet. No, that's hilarious. I totally got distracted now. I totally lost my train of thought. Major gear change.
That's okay. That's okay. So basically, like when you first decided to jump into the flipping and everything else, that's a big thing to do. It's not a small thing. You're putting out money for the house. You're doing the work yourself, and everything else. I gotta ask, what was your feeling when you bought that first house and you knew you had this huge project in front of you?
So the initial house, my initial house, I was actually still in the forces. I was still in the military, and it didn't start out as I was planning on flipping it. Truly, it was supposed to be just a piece of, it was an investment property. And slowly I was like, I need this design change. And, I got that champagne taste on a beer budget, right? So,
I love that phrase. It's hilarious. Right? I love it.
Very true. Initially I was like, I would love to do this and I would love to do that. But I have that can-do attitude, generally speaking, as you guys have come to know over the years. I get an idea and I'm like, let's tackle it. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? So, ripping up tiles and doing things like that. A little bit of a YouTube, I've become a YouTube master of sorts, but some videos, and then some, give no shit attitude. I was like, if it ends up not looking nice, I can pull it out and then go to a more, outsource or whatnot. But I found it to be very relaxing. I know renovations can tend to be a huge stress factor for a lot of individuals. Sure. For me, demo day, my palms sweat. I'm ecstatic during demo days. I love demo days. It's like my stress release thing.
Just get it all out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Like there's a lot of people, they find it quite therapeutic, right? Because it's like a removal. It's like you know, when anybody who's, not that I go for a ton of pedicures, but anybody that's gone for pedicures, and I don't know why this is the first thing that's popped into my head is to a good example of this, but when I'm getting my toes did, but they take that like pumice rock and they brush off all your dead skin. And that's a good thing. It promotes the healthy skin to kind of come through. And that's why I personally like demo days, because it's like we're getting rid of the junk, we're getting rid of the crap, the old, 40, 50-year-old, just especially if it's, maybe you bought a place that previous smoker. Yeah, hey man, like it's just it just feels good to rip that drywall off and just out into the absolutely tons of fun. Demo days are fun.
Now, when you were done demo day, okay, and you're standing back and you're looking at this basically destroyed room, okay, and realizing, okay, now this is mine, this is real now, and I've got to rebuild all of this. Did you have a plan? Like, did you take time to plan everything out, or was it more just kind of like, fly by the seat of my pants and I'm going to do this and this and that? And how did that work?
I got a sneak. Yeah. I got a sneaking suspicion she's shot from the hip a couple of times.
I did. I have numerous times, and it's a common frustration amongst my friends and family members, or if I'm in a relationship or something of the nature. People are like, "Would you just finish one room?" Because then I get excited about another project, and I'll start demoing. Although I am getting better at it now, I can't say I've fully gotten over that. I am an ADHD individual, so I always have 20 projects on the go, and I'll get bored of one project and I'll move on to the next, and the next thing you know, I'm like, oh, let's build a tree house, and then I'm in the yard, and then I'm back inside and I'm busting walls down and deciding to close doors and move them over, and so it was before. At least now, though, I have the fundamental know-how, and I know what the project entails, and I know what to expect at this point now. So that's, I guess, the differential. And I'm leading with a lot more confidence and knowledge and skill base. So I could, with my eyes closed, kind of demo everything, and I'm like, oh yeah, and I kind of know the gist of what what is expected. The first couple of times, I didn't have that base, so I was just like, okay. And then I was like, okay, now everything's done. Shoot, now I don't have a sink, and I don't know how to put a new sink in. And my dad's in another province because I was still in the forces, and I didn't. So, I learned under some stressful situations at times. But it's relatively easy. And I know that to some people that might sound a little crazy. I heard a woman once say, renovations is crafts, just on a much larger scale. And I kind of feel like that's true. There's a lot of that, like building blocks and Legos, you're tiling. And if you have a very fundamental base amount of skill set or knowledge, how to, like painting or like spreading a grout or an adhesive, as long as you're doing it on a 45 degree, it's quite simple. Anybody could know how to do that. And you push in the tile, remove air pockets, whatever. Relatively easy, right? Honestly,
and you picked all of this up from online. Like, you didn't have anybody come in and show you how to do things. It was just all,
nope.
hands on. Just,
No,
I'm impressed because I've seen some of your work, and
my works have definitely gotten much more substantial, much larger projects I've delved into. I now only, if I require some. It's very rare that I have to hire out now. I bust concrete, I add new plumbing, I add new bathrooms. And every house flip that I do, I add bathrooms in the basement. So I bust up the concrete. I run all the water lines myself. I run electrical. I do framing. I tile. I don't hire out very much anymore, unless it's countertops. And I had a house that I did an epoxy flooring, a marbling through the whole basement. I had that professionally done.
Yep. That one would definitely make sense.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't try to do that by myself because it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work, and that poor guy was in there for a good 3 days, and I was just like, no, that's not something that appeals.
Not doing that one. Yeah.
No.
Now, the designs, some of the houses, you've done, I think you said you flipped 9 houses. Some of the designs that I've seen once you're done, it looks like, somebody from New York came in and just, it did all the design. Where did you pick up the talent for design? Was that just natural, or was that a YouTube type of thing too?
To be honest with you, that I'm not scared of taking like bold chances. And I like to be creative with my spending habits, because at the end of the day, when you're doing a flip, it's all bottom dollar. Make it look as pretty as you can for the best dollar at the end of the day. I'm also raising 3 kids and, and whatever. So, pennies and just renovations, especially over COVID, really increased. So that was a big thing. So you learn to be more creative as you go. Like, in the house on East Puce Road, the house that was one of my biggest flips, that was a few $100,000 profit in that house. But,
Wow.
yeah. So I did a marble look like through the whole back wall of my bedroom, for instance. And it was like a sticker adhesive, like marble sticker from Amazon. And the packs were so cheap. And then I did a little bit of trim with a high gloss spray paint, to trim around where where the merging parts would be. And it looked like I had wainscoting and black marble, and that tied into the new ensuite that I had built. And, for $100, I did this big, like, rustic looking wall unit for a TV and a fireplace and, a big mantle. It cost me $100, and just a little bit of materials and,
Wow.
it's, but
Do you have pictures of those?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I don't expect you to share them right now.
I do.
Can you send me some? Because I'm always on the lookout for people's cool ideas. I've definitely not flipped even close to as many properties as you. I've done a couple, and I love it. Right, a lot of the things that you said, taking it from looking like this and making it look like that, that is my big one. I love looking back and saying, like, like you said, I did that, but even more so, it's like that looked like a solid 2, and I just made it a 9.5. And that's just, it's great to make money, don't get me wrong, but it's that self-pride to be like, wow, I turned something that looked like crap into, even as Dave, you say, you look at it, you're just like, holy cow, that is unbelievable, right?
Absolutely.
There's a lot of people that do not have the ability to do that. And so there's a major pride thing that comes with flipping properties. And every time you get a little better and a little better and a little better, right? And that's super, super cool.
Now, I do have to ask you though, Nat. I mean, there's always, whenever you pick up a house, there's always something unexpected.
No, it all goes to plan, Dave. Every single time. It's done under budget and ahead of schedule. Everybody that's done flip knows that.
Well, let's pretend that in one of the cases, something didn't quite work out. What was the worst thing that happened to you? I mean, I guess what we're trying to do is, for the people who are watching and listening, it's like, what's the worst thing that happened? What's the best thing that happened during one of your flips?
It wasn't a surprise. It was an unfortunate happenstance. But the house on Isabel 3, like, I don't know if I should say a house number, but I had just finished renovating the basement, and then we had one of the worst storms, and there was like thousands and thousands of home in Windsor that had flooded. So that was kind of really frustrating because I was just about to list the house, and then it flooded, and I was like, that was one thing. But
I mean, have you ever pulled open a wall and went, "Oh my God," or got in the middle of something and something's just
tube stuff, maybe things of that nature. I've done things where I just worked so late at night, my head was like half off, and I finished a project, and I turned on the water supply to the house again, and then I had forgotten. That was on East Puce Road. That one I had forgotten that I had not. Yeah,
closed off.
It was a bad. So I woke up to water dripping, and I was like, "What the heck is that?" And it went through the upstairs new bathroom into the drywall, and the drywall above the kitchen, and then on the main floor, and then it was it was a mess. Yeah. That was one thing, but no, so I mean,
tip number 1 for people listening: make sure everything's connected before you turn the water on.
Yeah, it was like 4:00 in the morning, and I was exhausted, and I had done I had opened the walls, and I was tiling the shower, and I was installing this brand new beautiful like LED blue light cool like spaceship looking shower unit from Amazon, and anyway, yeah, no, I went to bed. I was like, I crawled up the stairs that day. My back was just done, and yeah, anyways, it was bad. It was, but yeah, no, things like that has happened. But if you do your proper research looking into a home, you'll be able to tell, like, okay, it's this many years old. You'll expect a certain type of insulation or a certain type of electrical to be had there. So those things, I guess, it doesn't come to as big of a surprise to me anymore.
Right.
But yeah, it's
Now, what's on the opposite spectrum? What was one of the best things that happened to you? You're working on a project, and whether it be, you got way more than the price you expected, or maybe something you were trying, something just what's kind of on the positive side here?
well, for myself. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. So I'm a bargain girl. Okay. I'm a bargain girl. I love good deals. I get excited. Like when I go to Home Depot, I'm in there. I'll go to both Home Depots and I'll just wander up and down the aisles. They all know me. Like everybody, but I'll go at the end of the aisles because everything is always like 50% or more,
And
so
caps.
and I go so often. So a lot of times you'll see shower units and basins and the vanities and faucets, and I buy them and I keep them on hand when I see a really good deal of something I know I'll use. And I'd rather pay $10 right now than $100 in a couple of months. I'm that girl. So but I get really excited because actually in this current house that I'm flipping right now, the vanity was a $600 unit. I got it for $150 in the back, and my basin, and like when I get good deals and I know where to look,
Now, do
yeah,
you ever go to Habitat?
I do.
Uh,
I've discovered a new love for Habitat. For a while there, it was different, but actually right now my theater room is mainly sponsored to you by Habitat. Yeah.
Brianne and I call that place Restoration Hardware.
Oh, well,
Sure.
there you
Well,
go.
and for those who are listening or watching who aren't sure what we're talking about, it's called Habitat for Humanity. There's also the Restore,
The Restore, yeah.
and basically it's a place where they get donated items from other homes and buildings, and then they resell them. And
Or
the
new,
money
exactly.
goes.
They got smoke and deals there. Like there's tons of times you can go in there and like I saw, and it always surprises me. It's just like random things kind of show up there. And so one of those Gardena hose reels, I still have yet to see this deal ever come back again. And I kind of regret not buying it. But at the time I was just like $70, like whatever. But it's like 100-foot Gardena hose reel on the thing that comes like out of the track. You just mount it to your wall and you take it. That's $150 hose reel any day. Like,
Yeah.
and they're awesome because it's just like universal attachments, spray whatever. I haven't seen it back again, but it's crazy the deals you can get there sometimes.
Well, actually, my shower. I'm still working in one of my ongoing projects is my shower area in the new ensuite area. Converted one of the bedrooms. It was a 9x9. Didn't have a closet. It was small, anyways. So I closed it off from the hallway, and I busted a door opening from my master. So now I've got a 9-foot by 5-foot walk-in closet as well as an ensuite. But and that's the one that my basin was in, the vanity was from. But at Restore, I bought my glass shower doors. It's a $1,200 set. It was missing bolts, so I got it for $200 at Restore. $200,
Oh, wow.
So I go buy the shit. I'm sorry. I'll go buy
that's
it.
okay.
And then
Oh, we're allowed to swear.
Yeah.
Oh, we can swear. Shit. Well,
Yeah, and lighting
put bunny ears.
fixtures. Yeah.
Now you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, and lighting fixtures is a great spot for that too. But I love good deals, and of course, the marketplace is always a beautiful spot. And
Right.
anything that's a good deal, I'm like beautiful. Oh, actually, you talked about a mishap. So when I purchased this current house, I saw that it was hardwood floors underneath. So I was like, beautiful. I'm gonna lift all the carpeting, the ugly yellow and the ugly pink carpets, and every room is a different color. That's gonna be gone. But it's hardwood underneath, so beautiful. And from the corners where I lifted, it was in pristine condition. Lift a little further, and it's like rotted in some areas. So then I was like, well, there goes that plan. Then another $4,000 or $5,000 for flooring. But that was one.
Well, that happened in the house that I had. We pulled up the carpet, right, and underneath is just gorgeous hardwood. And it's in great shape except for around a couple of the vents, right? That there was just like I don't know what they'd done there, but it was just kind of like your regular, pine board. So what we did was we went into the closet and we pulled out some of the wood out of the closet, and we used that wood
Use as patch pieces
to replace the other pieces there, and then we just put in some another flooring in the closet and the tiling, so you had the same style and sort of the same aging of the wood, and we were able to patch things up a bit.
Awesome. That's
But
awesome.
yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of neat things you can do. If you have to pull pieces from from some other place, you can do that.
Yeah.
So I got a question, Natalie. What's the hardest part about flipping a property? Is it finding the property? Is it physically doing the work and making sure that you can make margins? Is it balancing trades in the event that you're not doing it yourself? Is it financing? Is it, what's been your take, being that you've done it as many times as you have? What's been the hardest part of flipping?
Luckily, I have a really good team. Like, I used Rasha and Grata a lot. A younger gentleman, Alex, was really helpful in this last flip. There's a lot of options out there. For myself, being that I also have children, a lot of times the move is difficult, and shifting a new school district, that could be something that I say I've struggled with. I love the renovations. I do it by myself. So one of the things, though, is I live in each home for at least a year to also avoid the capital gains. So, we live in it for a while. So then there's no rush. Ideally, you would want to have a flip. You only, hold on to it for a few months and it's gone already, right? But for me, the offset, especially when I was getting into flips where it was a couple $100,000, it was getting larger flips, I didn't want to pay taxes on 50%. And so living in it was definitely an offset, it was it was a smarter option. Renovations, of course, my back is injured from the forces. So sometimes that can take a toll, tiling on me. For me, when I tile, I can't move for 3 days. So sometimes there's a little bit of a, difficulty there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the process though. I love doing my ROI calculations. I love having 2, 3, 4 properties that I've got interest in. And you look at the market cap, the ceiling cap of properties in that neighborhood or on that street. You look at, the initial investment, what they're truly looking for. It made it frustrating when we were doing the whole multiple offers. And so it made it very difficult to have any sense of where what is my fair figure? What am I actually going to end up paying? And that was a little frustrating. I'm glad that we've kind of shifted markets a little bit from that. I love doing the calculations and the planning. But yeah, no, I enjoy renovations. I don't mind living in a little bit of that chaos. I've become used to it, or desensitized rather. So honestly, I would say the hardest part for myself is the moving and switching school districts and whatnot. Financing, there's so many. Christy, actually, Malco is an incredible.
I know Christy. Christy's awesome.
She's an incredible, and she's determined, and she puts her heart and soul, into every deal. She'll call you at 11 o'clock at night to be like, what about that? You see she's working, and she will make sure she gets you the best deal, and you walk away happy, and, she's awesome. But we got a lot of good people in our area that will work for you to make any deal work for you, whether it's an A or a B or a C lender, So financing is, I could imagine.
Not so much of an issue.
Yeah, I could imagine dealing with various trades. That could be a very stressful process, but I really never have. I've never had to deal with that. But I could imagine from the stories I hear of other people, the plumber won't do this until the electrician does that. But he's saying this has to be done first. And now he's on vacation. And now this guy won't lay the flooring until the kitchen is in. I couldn't do, I think, I would.
That domino effect would just,
That would drive me, I think I'm having some some palpitations here, just thinking about dealing with that. I'm no.
Cut.
I couldn't do that, no.
Well, no, Matt, we've got a few minutes left here, and I just want to touch on a base on the Airbnbs.
Yeah.
Because that's something you've also done.
Airbnb is a monster.
Is it?
It's
Okay, so can you talk a little bit about it? You're like good, bad,
Yeah,
Good,
no,
bad,
I
ugly.
do know I do know that it's frowned upon for anybody that doesn't do Airbnbs, but anybody that's been like in the vicinity of or has hosted or has a friend that hosts, they love it and they are sold. And it's only a growing beast. And it doesn't have to be that you need to have a second house or a cottage on the water. And if you have a bedroom that you're not using, and maybe has a bathroom that, your guests the guests could have themselves. And that's what I had. The house on East Puce Road. I had one side of my house where there was a bedroom and a bathroom. And I made over $3,000 a month on a bedroom. It paid my mortgage. And
Wow.
the people that to meet were travelers from around the world. Actually, one of them, they're coming back. He's from Greenland, but he's coming back to come visit in a month and a half ish. But I met some incredible friends that are still on my Facebook today, and they support what I do. Some older Asian couples that were finally retired, wanting to travel Ontario and sightsee. You meet the greatest people. The liability is incredible.
Do you ever have any trouble? And again, I guess it depends on the properties that you had, because I know there's a lot of people that they would love to do their basement. However, maybe they've got an older house and it's side entrance, so they're like, that's perfect because I could just segregate it off. They have their own side entrance, this and that and the other. But they struggle a lot with the ceiling height. Have you ever had any people that have also done Airbnbs, or maybe even yourself, that have had a similar situation but still been able to make it work? Like, I don't even know if there's a criteria for ceiling height with Airbnbs. I don't know.
No, but you can be very, so now that we're moving into a more like organic or even like that industrial look where when people spray paint their entire ceilings black, including any piping. So it does make so you don't have to box frame and drywall and like really bring in that. Keeping things maybe exposed could be a really good way to go about like going around something like that, and
So a little bit more modern feel.
Yeah, and then exactly designed to fit that whole thing. But people need it. There's 80% more travelers than there are like available. So people are desperate. And you could put a bed in the middle of and charge $40 and you'll probably get it. Some people rent out their sheds. They just made little string lights and a bed in their shed. And they are renting these places for like $80 a night. And they are getting it. They're getting people. It's insane. Buy a little camper, throw it in your backyard or an ADU. And slap that on. You want a retirement plan? That's, honestly.
I'm already looking at the ADU, so.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, it's incredible. Airbnb is just such a beast. And then people that worry about, what about my stuff if it gets broken? There's $1 million liability on every booking, right? Mm-hmm. So when people book them, they have to have their driver's license, their passports. So they get ID'd and they get verified, right? So you're not getting random strangers. But even if they break a mug, you submit a claim, and if they don't pay it, Airbnb will pay it. So you have this backing, and that where you can be rest assured that your stuff is protected, whether it's a stain, whether it's anything that happens.
Yeah. So you've had no bad problems at all.
One.
Oh, okay. Good.
That one was my
great tell.
Yeah. So I had a waterfront cottage on East Pike Creek. It was right on the water. And it was on the water. There was like a 10-foot deck. If you were to take another step, you'd be in the water. I had a little pedal boat. Yeah, Serenity Creek College. Cottage. Do you guys remember Serenity Creek? I posted a lot of it. Yeah. So, actually my friend purchased the place and they maintained the name Serenity Creek Cottage. That was another DIY project of mine, and it was quick and it was awesome. Just a little bit of paint. Some fake copper tiling and PL glue, and it was relatively inexpensive to redo that. A little bit of decor, slapped it on Airbnb. I was making $7,000 to $8,000 a month on that.
Nice.
So one of my bookings, it was a party, and they must have had 30 something. I didn't know. So that was a learning curve. So doorbell, video camera, necessity,
Right.
So that was a learning curve for me, but they definitely left it trashed. They had dropped cake, but that icing that has the coloring stained the carpets, and there was food everywhere. And then they had left one door open, so water had gotten in because it rained. I got $5,000. I submitted
back
the
from
carpet.
Airbnb, yeah.
Yeah, it took me like a week and a half, 2 weeks, but I got like almost like it was 4,400 that I got,
Wow.
44 something from Airbnb. I submitted a claim on everything, like everything that was damaged, everything that had been broken, the flooring. Like I submitted, my carpets, everything, and they were
That's
really
awesome.
like, within like as soon as the people declined to pay for any damages, Airbnb started their own like commencement of payment, and it got directly deposited in my account. It never tanked my ratings. It didn't affect me as an Airbnb host. Nothing happened after that. I continued.
Oh,
That's
nice.
awesome.
Nice.
It's beautiful, honestly, truly. But Airbnb, whether you're a retired couple, a young couple, or some of my friends are still looking for a house or an apartment, and I'm like, if you can't afford it, get that second bedroom. Even if you don't need a second bedroom, get a 2-bedroom apartment. Slap the other bedroom on Airbnb. You'll have your apartment paid for and then some. You'll make money. It's
Well, this
there's
is
an
always
upfront cost.
Yeah, this is always a good thing for people because I know as things are getting more and more expensive, some people are trying to figure out, well, how are we going to get a house? How are we going to keep our house? That type of thing. So, this is great information. Now, we do have to get going here. I don't want to hold you up all day. What do you have coming up? What's going on next?
Well, thank you for asking. I'm actually currently planning. We're preparing a golf tournament fundraiser.
Nice.
As you know, I'm a veteran, so it's going to be to also benefit our veterans because I know firsthand sometimes how undersupported they can be. And also for our Legion 261, who at the moment are in despair. They need the community to step up and to support them and to help out. And it's insane to me because they have the cheapest beers in the entire city. That's the Tecumseh and L'Esperance branch. So this golf tournament is going to be held August 22nd at Oxley Beach Golf Course. The tickets at the moment for the early bird fee is $100, but includes a round of golf, lunch buffet, premium cigars. As you know, I'm a huge cigar lover. In our swag bags, we're gonna have a bunch of stuff in there. And so far, I secured a $10,000 hole-in-one at the ninth
Nice.
hole. So 10,000 grand prize, dollar grand prize, and we're getting really, really, really good prizes so far. Like date nights at General Gun for a bunch of rounds of shooting with different guns, really good prizes from a lot of people right now that were coming in. So we're looking for golfers and sponsorships, just letting you know.
That's perfect. And sorry, what date was it?
August 22nd. So that falls on a Thursday.
She's always into something. Always into something.
Incredible. I didn't even know General Gun does those kind of date nights. That's super cool.
Oh, it's awesome. So are you going to come? You can win that prize?
Hey, man.
Just make sure the wife's not pissed off at you at the time. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. Make sure you're sweet as pie the days leading up to it.
I mean, I have my RPAL, so we could go have some fun. I'm assuming if they do a date night like that, do you need to have your license?
No, you can bring your wife right now. If you have yours, you can bring her right now anytime you want.
Gotcha. Well, no, she has her own as well. We're both licensed.
You're my son.
Don't break in here.
Yeah. Not there. Wrong place. No, yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, I'll show you it. But yeah, they give you like 7 different guns to play with and a bunch of rounds, and you get to sample a crazy amount of them. I won't say what I was going to say. But yeah, no, it's awesome.
I'm the host. I can do what I want.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, Havana Palace is also a great sponsor for this one. Perfect. They're doing like a really big, beautiful basket, and he's giving me a really good deal on some premium cigars that I'll put in every swag bag, and
perfect.
It's gonna be good. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, fantastic.
Great. Well, that's awesome. So thank you very much, Natalie. I appreciate your time. We appreciate your time and the insight and all the cool little tips and whatnot on flips galore and even the Airbnb stuff, because there's a lot of stuff in there I didn't even consider. So that was awesome. So appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much. Dave, as always, buddy. Always good to see you.
Always a great time.
Always good for a conversation. And we even had a bonus guest today that wasn't even supposed to be here. How well did that work out, Mike? Mike, thanks for stopping in, buddy. Till next time. But anyways, thank you guys both very much. To our listeners and viewers, appreciate you guys. Thanks very much for tuning in. I'm Sean Santoro with TMG, the Mortgage Group, and Dave McCall, my wonderful co-host. And today we were joined by Natalie Bourgoin. Thank you very much for your time, Natalie. You guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye now.
You betcha.
Bye-bye.
And hold.